That's right, one of the best action games of all time, Bayonetta, is now playable on Xbox One via backwards compatibility, and of course, we just had to check it out. Now, the original game on Xbox 360 generally runs at a smooth 60 frames per second, but suffers from noticeable screen tearing and plenty of little drops throughout the game. As is the case with all backwards compatible games though, that is no longer an issue on Xbox One. Bayonetta now offers a full tear-free experience just as we saw on the Wii U. Of course, backwards compatibility has been somewhat hit or miss with high-performance games, so we wanted to see just how it holds up running on the Xbox One. Let's start with a three-way comparison showcasing the game running on Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the Wii U. We have to note that it's basically impossible to nail like-for-like gameplay here, so just as we get started, there is going to be some variation. Thankfully, this opening stage is actually a pretty good place to start with its semi-fixed camera, but what we're really seeing here is that all three versions are basically trading blows and alternating for the top spot. Xbox One and 360 are generally very close, with the average frame rate during this scene coming in around 52 frames per second on all three consoles. When playing on 360, you do have to put up with some screen tearing though. Of course, this also has an advantage on 360, with slightly faster input response. It does play well on all platforms, of course, but the 360 version does feel ever so slightly more responsive due to its adaptive VSync. Playing all three versions back to back though, I actually feel that the Xbox One version kind of falls in between the 360 and Wii U in terms of input response, but really it should be fine for the majority of players. Now the next moment is interesting. This alpha explosion here causes the Wii U and 360 to slow down dramatically for just a moment, while Xbox One actually stays ahead. This is clearly the result of the additional GPU grunt available, and it's something we've seen before in other games. Then it's back to the races where all three versions are once again trading blows for the top spot, a theme that you'll actually probably encounter throughout most of the game. But this brings us to the 30 FPS cutscenes, which are generally fine on all consoles, but we did encounter a strange drop here at the end on Xbox One. While it doesn't happen very often, it might actually be related to this. A user over on NeoGAF posted this video of Bayonetta running on his Xbox One. Yeah, it's not smooth at all, is it? For reference, we ran through the same area minus the ice skates and encountered no such problem. Other users have experienced similar things with other games, but really this is actually not an issue with the emulation, rather sort of a system level bug. The cutscene example before, for instance, that was actually one of the first things I captured and was recorded before I installed the latest preview program update, which is supposed to address this issue. After doing that, the game was smooth sailing throughout without any hint of additional slowdown in cutscenes or gameplay. So it's very likely that this problem will disappear for everyone as this fix is rolled out to all users. At least, we certainly hope so. Now there are times when we do actually see some serious variation performance. This scene here gives Xbox 360 and Xbox One a serious workout, while Wii U kinda hums along pretty nicely with minimal issues. Well, that is until witch time is triggered. This post-processing effect used during witch time doesn't actually play very nicely with the Wii U's GPU. In another scene I compared just the Xbox One to the Wii U, and I used a lot of witch time when fighting this creature, of course. And it's even worse. Wii U is slower during most of the scene to begin with, but once you actually trigger witch time, watch out. Okay, that was bad, but then check this out. Yeah, Wii U dives under 30 frames per second for an extended period of time. Clearly the system does not like this post-process effect, while of course the Xbox One has no issues at all. But hey, at least every version is better than this. Yes, it's the legendarily bad outsourced PS3 port. It sure is something. Can we kinda just pretend that this version doesn't exist? I'm just gonna go ahead and sweep it under the virtual rug now. Anyways, that's really all there is to it here. Bayonetta runs quite well on the Xbox One. The average frame rate is basically the same as Xbox 360, but it runs without screen tearing, and some of the alpha-heavy scenes actually run faster. While some folks may prefer the adaptive VSync for input response, for myself, the Xbox One is now the best place to replay Bayonetta. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching as always, and until next time, this is John, signing off.